Here are 5 more words from Sublist 3. Criteria, deduce, demonstrate, document, dominate. The first word, criteria. Criteria. And this means factors, facts, or standards to help you make a decision or assessment. We have assessment criteria, for example, in the IELTS test. For example, motivation is one of the principal criteria for success in learning a second language, so it's one of the principal factors behind success. There are 2 forms for the word, criterion and criteria. So criteria is actually a plural noun and criterion is the singular form. However, people mostly use criteria even in the singular. So criterion is much less used. You'd often see criteria used as a singular and as a plural. Successful applicants must meet all the relevant criteria as listed below. The sole criterion which is considered for the position is your job experience. Until 1962, Canadian immigration policy was largely based on ethnic criteria. This system provides a set of standard criteria which all potential applicants must meet. We can meet criteria, we can have objective criteria, use criteria, the following criteria, different criteria. And some synonyms include specification or specifications, guide, guideline, guiding principle, principle, and rule. So that's the word criteria. Deduce is the next word, deduce. And this means to decide that something is true using the information you have. It's often related to evidence. So here's Sherlock Holmes. You can deduce the meaning of new vocabulary from context, so you can work out the meaning from the evidence of the sentence. Deduction is a common noun form. Deduce is a verb. Deductive, deductively. Even though she didn't say a word, I was able to deduce that she was Japanese by her clothing. Fictional detective Sherlock Holmes used a process of logical deduction to solve crimes. The mathematician establishes results by logical deduction. Top-down learners process information through deduction, moving from general conclusions and theories to predictions and explanations. You can deduce the direction of something. Something can be possible to deduce, able to deduce. Here's a slightly different meaning of the word tax deduction. So this means a reduction in tax. Powers of deduction. And some synonyms. Conclude, come to the conclusion, reason, work out, gather, infer. Deduce. Demonstrate. Demonstrate. This means to show somebody something. For example, recent studies have demonstrated that drinking tea may help to prevent cancer. Some forms: demonstration, demonstrator, demonstrate, demonstrative, demonstrative, and demonstrated, and also demonstrably, demonstrably. Here are some example sentences. The parade was an obvious demonstration of the government's military strength, so they were showing their military strength. My son has downloaded demos of a number of video games from the internet. So this is an abbreviation of demonstration. It's an example of a game which is not the full version, but it's showing what the game is like. Climate change protesters demonstrated outside the building yesterday. Do you want me to demonstrate how the software works for you? Common collocations: you can demonstrate competence, clearly demonstrated, demonstrate the importance of something, demonstrate the existence, demonstrate the need, and some synonyms. Show is the closest one, or show beyond doubt, indicate, determine, establish, prove, demonstrate. Document is the next word. Document, and this means, in the noun form anyway, a piece of paper that has official information written on it. For example, I have to go to my lawyers to sign some documents relating to the sale of our house. So there it's a noun form. Documentation has a very similar meaning to document. Documentary is a kind of TV program. Document can also be used as a verb. Documented, undocumented, both adjectives. You must send the necessary documentation to us before the office closes on Wednesday afternoon at 5. Here's the verb form. You should document all your discussions with your manager so that if there are any problems later, you will have all the necessary information at hand. So this means you should write it down. You should write your discussions down. Turn it into a document. You should make sure you have all the necessary documents before going to your lawyer. I have been documenting all the changes I've been making to the software program so you can see how it's done. So that's the verb form again. Well documented, policy document, consultation document, sign a document, read a document. And some synonyms: official paper, legal paper, paper, form, certificate, and deed. That's the word document. The next word, dominate. Dominate. This means to have power and influence over something or someone, or to be in control of a situation. The Americans have dominated Olympic basketball for many years, so they've been in control of it. They keep on winning. Forms include domination, dominator, dominate is a verb, and dominant, an adjective. After years of domination by the Japanese, the Korean people are now taking full control of their country. Women are generally dominated by men in many countries throughout the world, so they're controlled by men. Poland was the dominant political power in Eastern Europe from the 14th to the 17th century. The Tower of London has dominated the capital city of England for over 900 years. This doesn't mean it's controlled London. This means that the skyline has been dominated. You can see the Tower of London from many parts of central London, so it's dominated the skyline. Male dominance, dominant culture, dominant discourse, dominant form, dominant group, all common collocations. And synonyms include control, influence, exercise control over, be in control of, command, and be in command of. So that's the word dominate. And here are your 5 words again: criteria, deduce, demonstrate, document, dominate.